What's up, everybody? I'm Seslowsky. Thanks for tuning back into RosterWatch. If you've been participating in mock draft, best ball contests, or dynasty startup drafts this offseason, you may have noticed that the cost of running backs has been inflated. There are running backs with lower projected outcomes getting drafted ahead of some of the top 10 projected wide receivers. It makes sense based on positional scarcity for the running backs and positional abundance for the wide receivers. In this video here today, we're going to talk about a few of the mid-round running backs going outside of the top 50 picks that could plausibly end up as top 12 running backs. In other words, mid-round running backs with upside. The first player I want to talk to you about is Cam Akers, the rookie running back on the Los Angeles Rams. Akers is currently getting drafted as the 75th overall player, or the RB29. Now, it's rational to make a case both for and against Akers, but he's getting drafted in the 6th round of most 12-team leagues. The Rams used a second-round pick in the real NFL draft to take him, and Todd Gurley is no longer with the team, and second-year running back Darrell Henderson did not show enough to seize the job and become the clear-cut starter. That's clearly the case for Cam Akers. The Rams still project to be a top 10 offense, and Akers could be a key piece of their running attack. Those who make the case against Akers point to how poor the Rams' offensive line may have been. The counter really is that Akers did run behind a very poor offensive line at Florida State, and perhaps maybe even that's the reason why the Rams thought he might be a fit. There is obvious risk of a committee of 3 if Malcolm Brown stays involved, but the upside is easy to see for Cam Akers. Those fading running back inflation should consider Akers at cost and can even hedge that by drafting Darrell Henderson in the later rounds. The second player we're going to talk about today is David Johnson, the running back on the Houston Texans. David Johnson has an ADP of 60, or the RB22. On a recent RosterWatch podcast, number 273, Alex Dunlap, the co-founder of RosterWatch, talked to special guest Derek Brown. And Derek said something interesting. He said he's not going to sit here and tell you that Bill O'Brien is a great GM or that trading DeAndre Hopkins away for David Johnson made a lot of sense, but David Johnson is in a smash spot this year. That got me thinking. David Johnson, nobody seems to be excited to draft him as he's been a very poor fantasy investment as a first-round pick the last few years. I mean, the last time David Johnson was even good was 2016. That said, Derek Brown said something very interesting. Bill O'Brien's going to want to justify the trade and use David Johnson as the workhorse running back. Even if David Johnson is a shell of himself, he's going to be force-fed opportunity and could be a nice pick in the 4th, 5th round for those fading the running back inflation. Derek Brown also pointed out that Houston has an underrated offensive line who in 2019 were actually top 12 in most offensive line metrics. Just a quick reminder that the 2020 RosterWatch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet is available now at RosterWatch.com. The revolutionary cheat sheet that changed fantasy football forever is back, only at RosterWatch.com. The Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet, all you need to do is follow 3 simple rules. That's it, 3 rules. It couldn't be any easier, and an expert quality fantasy football draft is guaranteed. The RosterWatch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet, available now at RosterWatch.com. The third player I want to talk to you about is Antonio Gibson of the Washington football team. At time of publication, Antonio Gibson is the hottest name in fantasy football right now. He's currently getting drafted as an ADP of 116. Washington released Darius Geis, and Gibson shot up draft boards. He once was a 14th round flyer, and now he's a hero pick in the 8th or 9th round. RosterWatch co-founders Alex Dunlap and Byron Lambert, along with the podfather Matt Kelly of Roto Underworld, are recognized as the pioneers of the Antonio Gibson truther train. In a recent tweet, ESPN's Mathew recognized RosterWatch for their forward-thinking scouting report and profile on Gibson. Gibson is big and fast and has burst and can catch the football. Adrian Peterson is still there and will likely start the season as the early down grinder. This was also the case for Peterson in New Orleans when then rookie Alvin Kamara broke out, triggering Peterson's release. The upside is very easy to see with Antonio Gibson, but we caution optimism, especially early on in the season in a shortened offseason. Okay, Roster Watch Nation, that's it for today. Remember to like and subscribe to get notifications when we go live. And leave us a comment in the video. We will comment back. Until next time, goodbye.